During my Elite Grant sessions, consultations, and also when I'm doing the grant reviews, I've noticed something that has caused me a lot of concern. And the thing I have noticed is that when nonprofit write grants, when they are either doing the in the grant process or when they are crafting their grant proposal, what I have noticed is that there are some times that you find that they are not tackling the real problem, like the problem that they are looking to tackle in that specific project. It's not the real problem. Like it is a problem that does not really move the needle in terms of implementation of that project. And so today I would like to talk about this. So welcome to the Elite Experience, the Grant Edition, and this is whereby we talk about how you can craft the grant proposal that secures the funding opportunity for you. Welcome. So the reason that not tackling the real problem of the project is that the reason that not tackling the real, real problem of the projects, the reason that it will cost your project is that because the moment you start implementing your project, like let's say you are doing a project about hosting events at schools. So let's say that you have looked at the problem, but now the real problem is not the transportation or the real problem. The real so let's say that the real problem is not transportation, and now the real problem is the it's like the finding the coaches that will be involved in that project. So when you write a grant and you secure the grant, and now the grant is about transportation, and now it's about transportation between the different events that you have. What happens is that when you are doing that, the real problem, when you start implementing that project now, the real problem now shows up, and now find that you have an issue with the start having an issue with the coaches. So you find that either you don't have quality coaches or do you start having like these debates and these problems with the between the how the students are taught. And now what you find is that yes, you have applied for the grant and you have secured the opportunity, and now you have the financial support to implement your project. But now the real problem now really shows up when you are implementing that project. And now because the grant you applied for is limited to that specific thing about the transportation, now you find that the issue of the costs now kind of you get left behind. And now at the end of the day your project isn't implemented the right way, and now it may cost you opportunities in the future, and also the beneficiaries may not really get the benefits of your project. So what I recommend is that before you write the first word of your grant, or even not even the first word, but before you even start the grant research, before you even start the grant process, what I recommend is that you do a research into the real problem that is affecting that particular project. So what you need to find out is that the roadblock, like what is really the big issue with this project. So it's not just like finding a problem and then applying for a grant to secure the opportunity. No, it is about finding the real problem that your project is facing, and then after you have found the real project now you can go ahead and now start looking for the grant opportunities that are available for that specific problem that your project is facing. So that is the main thing now. So what you need to do is that before you do anything else, even before you start looking for grant, what you need to do is that look for the real problem of that project. Like, what is the thing that if it is not addressed, it will the project will just be a failure. It doesn't matter whether you secure funding opportunity for another problem or you don't secure it. So you need to look for the actual problem of that specific project. And now the way I recommend is that you ask 5 whys. So like you list the problem and now you ask why is this the actual problem. So you ask that 5 times, and now if at the end of it, like by the time you are reaching to the number 5 why, if it seems this doesn't make sense, you just forget about it and go to the next problem until you find the problem that after you have asked why 5 times, it really is a real deal. So that's all for today. So I just wanted you to know that before you start your grant project, before you write the first word of your grant proposal, make sure that you are tackling the real problem. So that goes for the non-profit and also for the grant writer. So before you write the first word and before you even begin the process of looking for the opportunities, make sure that the real problem is the one that is being tackled through that specific grant proposal, through that specific grant opportunity. So that's all for today, and I'll see you next week. So bye bye, Kapadium.